Hi, everybody. This is Rhonda Cobb, the Money Coach. Thank you for joining our show. Now, as you remember, I like requests, so you can email those to me at rcmoneycoach@gmail.com. And the new website is indeed up and running. So free prizes to anybody that finds a typo or a mistake. So go look at it. It's rcmoneycoach.com. Plus, there are free things you can download and you can enroll in the Forget You program. Alrighty then, on with the show. You know, if you've been watching the interest rates or you're actively shopping for a new home, you know the market is moving at a really fast pace. The real estate market, that is. And you know that interest rates for home mortgages have dropped significantly. This is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's good if you're fully prepared to jump in with both feet. It's not quite so good if you're the least bit unprepared. Ta da! I am here to help you get prepared. This is what I mean by mortgage preparation. So let's start at the beginning. Remember the show I'm preparing to buy a house? It was a little bit ago. But anyway, if you go to the website, you can download the little booklet called Powerful Secrets That Simplify Buying a House. And it's free. Free, free, free. No matter what you do, it's still free. But let's quickly review a little bit of home buying, selling, and refinancing savvy. Then we'll discuss the ins and outs of refinancing specifically. Now, first and foremost, you'll want to remember it's a chess game. In this chess game, the king is cash. Cash is king, so protect your income stream or streams, as the case may be. During the entire home refinancing, buying, or selling process, you do not want to have any interruptions in your cash flow. That would really put a kink in the works. And to be my normal blunt self, it would stop the process cold. Also, in life, you want to protect your income by being properly insured with the number one most important insurance. And P.S., it's not life insurance. So call me if you missed that show and I'll tell you all about it because the king is cash and cash is king. Now, the next piece in our game is the queen, of course. If you're a chess player, you already know she's the one that can move anywhere on the board in any direction, right? So in this context, the queen is cash management. It's not only how much you make, it's what you do with it once you bring it home. If you're properly managing your cash, you can move in any direction. Cash management protects your whole life. If you manage your income badly, you will not be as successful as you will be if you manage it well. And it does not matter if your income is small, medium, large, extra large, or super abundant jumbo size. If you fail to manage it, you will not have the ability to live the life that you think you could live. Cash management people have a budget and the discipline to follow it most of the time. In preparing to buy, sell, or refinance a home, a budget is crucial. It helps you know how much house you can afford. It accounts for taxes, insurance, and maintenance. It also helps you save up prior to the purchase. The queen is indeed cash management. Now, the next piece on the chessboard is the bishop. The bishop denotes a powerful position, and in this instance, it represents time management. You cannot recover lost time or opportunity. You must make a daily schedule. List the most important things you're going to do that day and do the important things first. Get them out of the way, check them off the list. Tuck the rest of the junk activities around the priorities. If you aren't getting it done, it would be very difficult to complete all the tasks of saving for, searching for, and then owning a home. If you put off saving, then that delays your opportunity and affects your budget, your pre-approval, and the really low rates currently available could end before you get your act together and get yourself to owning a home. So you can see how important time management is. It's a power player in this game, and it's a power player in life, whether you're talking about money or something else. Now, the next piece is the night. For us, the night is long term savings, capitalization, and tax management. This sounds like a lot of responsibility for one little horse shaped piece, but he can handle it. We did a show about the long term wealth building benefits of home ownership. You might remember it. But you also need to have long term savings in a tax advantage account, long term savings in a regular kind of account, and you need to capitalize on any retirement planning strategy. Enough cannot be said about proper care and handling of your tax responsibilities. Pay only what you owe. Don't forget to file and deduct all that you are eligible for. If you're in deep doo doo with the IRS, it's going to be really hard to get your house refinanced or to buy a house. So you want to be a knight and make sure you take care of all of these things. Now, the next piece, of course, is the rook. He's the one who looks like a little castle. The rook represents a paid for home and a good retirement plan. Imagine having a grip on the game here and heading into retirement with a house that you own and a nest egg. Wow, wouldn't that be cool? Now, unless Congress steals it from us, that's a great position to be in. I've watched retired people for a number of years now. And you know what? Those that are having the most fun are all vibrant and healthy, and they did the same things or similar things. They managed their money carefully. They followed a plan, and they owned a home that they stayed in until it was paid for. Now, those that didn't, they didn't use an advisor, they didn't follow a plan, they may not have saved consistently, they might have rented instead of owning, and they might have maybe indulged in difficult decisions that brought bad health consequences or habits that were not that great. Those folks, they're not faring anywhere nearly as well as the other folks. So, which one do you want to be? Contented, happy, and vibrant, or struggling? Let's plan ahead for the results that you select. Now, the next piece in the home ownership game is the pawn. You know, that's the little piece. There's a whole bunch of them in the front row of the game when it starts. Big corporations and banks tend to think of us little people as a pawn. They entice us with advertising stating how wonderful they are. But in my little brain, if they were that wonderful, why do they need to advertise? Not all banks are predators, of course, but be very, very careful when you're shopping for your loan, your terms, and your interest rates. You don't want to be a pawn. Put your keys to your future in your own hand and keep them there. Overpaying, overspending, or following the crowd to things you cannot afford will lead you to being a pauper. A pauper is a poor, poor person. Pauper. Not pauper as in blow it up on the 4th of July. Pauper. Poor person. So don't be a pawn of the system. Use the system to get what fits your plan. Now, you're accustomed to me offering assistance and solutions, and of course, today is no different. I've been helping people just like you find solutions to money issues, both business and personal, since 2006. I help you solve money problems, take you from tenant to owner, and from broke to set. Now let's look at this question of refinancing. Let's say you own your house and you have $100,000 balance on your current mortgage. In my market, that's a pretty good sized balance. In other geographies, that's chump change. But this is just our example, okay? Now let's say you refinanced when the rates were 4.5. You thought you were doing really good. And you were really, really smart and you took a 15-year loan. This puts your payment at around $765 a month for both principal and interest. Now, in this example, I am not factoring in variables like private mortgage insurance, property tax, or homeowners insurance. Banks and mortgage companies typically add those to your mortgage payment so that you never fall short of having enough money to pay your homeowners or your property taxes. And PMI is private mortgage insurance for those that don't put enough down. It protects the bank's status if you default on the loan. So that's a whole nother animal. So our example does not include those things. So 765 for just principal and interest. So let's look at the statement that you receive if you need your own itemization. But for just our example, 765 is good. Now, let's take that same $100,000 that's left on that mortgage. If you refinance right now and you have maintained a good credit score, that means you're a good risk and a good customer, you can probably get that same $100,000 mortgage for about 2.5% for that same 15 years. That payment, again, only principal and interest, is about $667. So your savings is 98 bucks. Take 2 out of your wallet and round it up to $100 a month. You could save $100 a month over the 15-year life of the loan. Want to know what that adds up to? Quick! $18,000. You think it's worth it? Might be. Now, let's talk about, is that worth it? On the front end, you'll have some expenses. Every time you refinance a mortgage, you got some front end expenses, like the appraisal, the loan origination fee, and such not. Almost everybody charges those, so don't be surprised, but you can shop around and see who has good deals on those things. So let's estimate and say that your front end expenses were $5,000. You didn't shop around and you just went with whoever you knew, and it was about $5,000. All right. So you're still going to save over $13,000 over the life of the loan. In my book, that's worth it. Why? When wouldn't you want to do that, though? Well, let's talk about when it's not the right move for you. Because now you're thinking, oh my God, that's great. Stop listening. I got to go find a mortgage broker. Wait a minute before you do that, okay? Let's talk about when it's not a good idea. In this instance, in our example, if you're within a couple years of paying off the loan, your savings are not going to offset the upfront expenses. If you plan to move within 2 or 3 years, again, the savings are not going to offset the upfront expenses. Just let it ride. If you were older and a 15-year loan would take you past your 75th birthday, you might want to consider the feasibility of this idea. Now, if you're in a rocky relationship and you think you may be moving out, moving on,